Oh, no, that's a good call, Jeff.
Steve?
Mike, Elliott Sadler, defending race winner, sitting in the car. Elliott, what happened to put you back here?
Just normal Bristol stuff. Kind of got run into from the back, but it wasn't his fault. I was getting pretty loose. We had a good race car, and I dragged the left front sway bar arm off. Man, that ain't no fun here at Bristol. So tough break with everybody from Motorcraft Quality Parts and U.S. Air Force. We really wanted to come back and run good, but just a tough day at the office.
Yeah, they're still working hard on this car, but there's a lot of damage to the 21 of Elliott Sadler.
Defending champion behind the wall. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads them down to the green flag. Kurt Busch, the new second-place car. Jimmy Spencer, Bobby Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield, the front five.
And Sterling Marlin up there in the second position on the racetrack. Kurt Busch takes a look to the inside of him. Remember, he's out there trying to get a lap back, but he only has 2 fresh right-side tires after pitting under green.
Kurt Busch needs to be real careful, and he is. Sterling gave him room. Sterling kind of knows he's a set duck there.
All right, let's go down to Tony Stewart's pit and Dick.
Coach Gibbs has just come out of the medical center. How's he doing?
Right, just real sore. He started complaining about 250, left 250. And I think he's just real sore right now. It's a tough time for him to move the wheel or anything.
And they're working on his back right now in the medical center.
So Stewart, after he complained of pain, ran another 125 laps.
Hey, I've seen the times here, guys, when I wish I could change drivers at halfway and have me a fresh driver up against these guys that are already worn out.
Right now, Todd, the Tony Stewart car is in 21st position. How many cars on the lead lap? And actually, last October at Charlotte, Tony Stewart decided to fly home to surprise his sister for her wedding. Todd Bodine got in this race car and practiced the car in final practice.
Runner-up Kurt Busch with a new paint job. His sponsor, running a sweepstakes, wants to give some fan a chance to win $1 million. Kurt Busch closing in on the race leader.
Guy's having a wheel to run there.
Yes, he is. For a guy that didn't sound very confident about this place a couple of days ago, he got that track position, though.
Yeah, he said, he kept telling us, I've only been here 3 times. Give me a break,
For more, here's Steve.
Mike, interesting strategy may be playing out here in the 97 of Kurt Busch. Jack Roush has told Jimmy Fennig and Kurt Busch that they can make it the rest of the way on gas. They like the tire wear. They may not stop again the rest of this race, taking a page out of Elliott Sadler's book from a year ago.
Shades of last year.
And a lot of crew chiefs talked about this morning in the garage area. I talked about Tony Glover earlier, talked about lap 350, 150 to go. These cars can run 160 or 70 laps on fuel. But Darrell, if we get up there after about 75 laps on these tires, 75 to go, with 21 cars on the lead lap, I believe I'm going to give you 4 if that caution comes.
Please don't leave me out there. And I'll tell you a guy that's really got a pretty good hot rod. We haven't said much about all these, that 28 car. He just keeps inching his way to the front.
Yeah, Ricky Rudd is now up to 8th place. And he's done it the hard way through traffic, position at a time, having a strong run.
Started in 20th position. This is a brand new car, a new Hopkins chassis. 48 starts here, 28 top 10s, but he's never won a race here.
Good run for Rudd today. Carol, what's it like to climb into a car halfway through a race? You did it in 1977, I think, at Talladega.
Yeah, I did. I relief drove for Donnie Ellison. I won the race. The car was fast, just like Tony's was here. I got in there and got myself squared away, and after a few laps, I was running as good as he had been and ended up winning the race. So it can be done.
And where these guys had 53 seconds to change driver, Talladega, you probably have about 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
We had plenty of time. I had me a couple of cold drinks and hopped in there and took off.
Here's the 5th place battle. Jeremy Mayfield, who had a great pit stop, went from 14th to 6th on the stop. And now he gives that position up to Jeff Burton.
Now, he's got to have some good pit strategy, because I've watched his car. Hadn't been all that good. It's been pretty loose on him. But there he is up there in 6th place.
We see our promo for Texas in 2 weeks. New surface on that racetrack. They're going to be welling in excess of 200 miles an hour at the end of the straightaways.
Be smoking down there. We'll find out who's got downforce and horsepower down there.
Better believe it.
It's going to take 2 weeks to get ready for Texas after today.
And that's just about the cars. We'll have to find out a few things about the drivers, too.
112 laps to go in the Food City 500 at Bristol. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading Kurt Busch by a narrow margin. There you see the battle for 6th place. Rusty Wallace, 9-time winner here, closing up on Jeremy Mayfield. 12 cautions so far. See if we can stay green for a while. 400 laps go up on the board at Bristol, Tennessee. 100 to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is just that far ahead of Kurt Busch.
Yeah, and Kurt Busch is fixing to POD.
POD?
On Dale.
All right, what we're seeing right here, we're looking at the miles per hour in interval between Earnhardt Jr. and Busch, and this would be at the end of the backstretch at the highest RPMs. There you see the frozen right there, pretty close to him. We're seeing that on the stopwatch as well. Both of them running about a 16.5 per lap.
Junior gets through traffic just a teeny bit better.
Here you see Kurt Busch about a third of a tenth behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. right on his rear bumper. We'll look at the same split again. Kurt Busch almost a mile an hour faster that time, that lap.
As soon as he gets back and can get clear track, he's faster than Dale. Now, can he get around him? That's the thing. But I believe if Dale makes a mistake, he's going to get him.
All right, there you see down to a quarter of a tenth. Let's look at it one more time down the backstretch. A lot quicker that time.
He's packing that thing in the third turn. Let me tell you why, because he's looking in his rearview mirror.
But in defense of Dale Earnhardt Jr. that time, he ran up on the lap car of Buckshot Jones. That slowed him down a bunch.
He got to go, though, because Spence is closing in fast on both of them. I think Dale Jr. is holding up the 97 car, allowing Spencer to catch up.
But Dale Earnhardt Jr. is protecting the bottom of that racetrack. It's just going to be hard to pass him on the outside unless he uses lap traffic as a pick.
You know how you do that? You get him looking in the mirror. You'll go right by him. As he looks back, and he'll go up the hill, and you'll go by him. Now, there's a number of ways to get him looking in the mirror, by the way.
You're clear. You're clear.
The modifieds, a great short tracker named Eddie Flemke used to have a trick. He'd hold the wheel with his knee and make a sudden movement with his hands. The driver ahead would be looking in his mirror, would go that way, would go the way Eddie's hands went. He'd go by on the other side.
Anytime you're looking back, you're losing time.
Right.
But Dale, I believe you're right. He's much faster than Dale Earnhardt Jr. You look at the nose of this race car right here, Kurt Busch, the 97, and we've not heard anything about it for 3 days here. Race number 6, aerodynamics, forget it.
Whoa,
chassis.
Park, drive, run straight away. Park and Stacy Compton.
Caution is on the speedway.
The 2 cars that were involved in the crash last week at Darlington go spinning to bring out our 13th caution.
What a break for Todd Bodine and Tony Stewart car. He was about 2 seconds away from being lapped.
Todd's having a heck of a time with that car. He's just been all over the racetrack. It's real loose with him.
But he's got enough time in it now. He can tell Greg Cimpadelli and those guys what he needs, and they can make some adjustments on this pit
Tighten
stop.
me up, please.
Park trying to get rolling.
That's just the difference in driver style. Some drivers like for the front tires to be sliding a little bit. Some like the rear ones.
Okay, DW, tell me what that car's doing, buddy. 49 laps since we went racing. I'm sure I want to give up track position, but I'd like to get my last set of tires on here right now. If I'm at the front, I don't think I am, but if the back of the lead lap cars, I believe we will.
Car's okay. Give me some ice.
Here's what happened to bring out this 13th caution.
Oh, he just gets around there. Park does.
And then Compton spins to miss him.
Of course, Stacy's already been, he's had trouble. So car probably not driving exactly like he'd like for it to.
By the way, that incident last week where Park was the leader trying to lap Stacy Compton, upon further review, Park accepts full blame for what happened.
Just a little impatient, as he said.
And right now, they just now opened pit road for the leaders, so we'll see who's going to fold them and who's going to deal them.
We got 100 laps left. We got 90 laps to go. I don't think I'm going to stay out there on those old tires.
And I believe I'm going to do what the leader does. Leader is on pit road.
Oh, Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch stays out along with Jimmy Spencer.
Whoa, Dale Jr. is alone. He's in the lonesome valley.
Yep, Bobby Labonte comes in. Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace.
Got a wall.
Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick pit. So does Mike Skinner. Steve?
Mike Dale Earnhardt Jr. told Tony Eury Jr. and Sr. that he was spinning his tires a little bit coming off the corner. Tony Eury Jr. made an air pressure adjustment. Tony Eury Jr. on the front tires, Steve Wolf on the rear. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back onto the racetrack.
Rusty Wallace is in. Kevin Harvick, Mike Skinner.
And I believe that's a good move, though, Mike, because Dale Jr. wasn't as fast as Kurt Busch. And I don't think he was as fast as Jimmy Spencer. So he had to come in, Dick.
Well, Rusty Wallace came in because he was not getting the bite he wanted off the corner. They had decided if the leaders came in, they would pit, and in the rear tires, they were going to drop a pound out of both of them to try to fix that problem. Just a moment ago over the radio, just before that pit stop, Billy Wilburn came on and said it's 50-50. I don't know what to do.
Mark Martin pitted. So did Ricky Craven, Terry Labonte, Todd Bodine, and Dave Blaney. So we're under caution yet again. 13th yellow of the day. A very strung out restart. We did not expect Kurt Busch to pit. They intended to go all the way on their tires. The 7 cars behind him did not pit. Jimmy Spencer, Jeremy Mayfield, Ricky Rudd, Jerry Nadeau, Matt Kenseth, and Kyle Petty. None of those drivers pitted under this caution.
There you see the Fox tracks right there. Jimmy Spencer in second, about a half a tenth behind leader Kurt Busch.
That moves Kyle Petty up into the top 10, running in 7th.
He was one of those 8 cars elected to stay out. And Kurt Busch, the best thing he has going for him is those 7 cars behind him that are on equal tires to him.
Well, his car just looked like it got better and better and better on this long run. And of course, you got to give Kyle a real call here. And Spencer's having a hard time getting around.
Well, Kyle probably knows he's going to lose some positions, but you got to give him credit for hanging out, still being on the lead lap.
He's done a good job of
4/5 of the way through this race.
Come back, buddy.
Both Steve Park and Stacy Compton returned to the race after that spin. Let's get out of the leader's pit, Steve.
Mike, with Jimmy Fennick. Jimmy, tell us about your decision not to pit.
Well, based on last time here with Elliott Sadler, Goodyear made an excellent tire here, and I think that's the way to go. It's the time to stay out of the way.
Kurt Busch, sophomore driver, trying to make those tires last for another 80 laps.
And it's just like he said, they're looking back at what happened here last year. This is the same way Elliott Sadler won the race. Worked then, ought to work now. What they need to do, though, is throttle him back just a little bit and save something for the end here. Now, you don't want to use your stuff all up.
All right, but Jimmy Spencer is coming, Matt.
And he's got less than 80 laps to get him. Like, really, Jimmy and his crew chief, Doug Randolph, went back and forth on whether to pit or not, but Jimmy just said the car, it feels awfully well on old tires. He said, let's take our chances. The car feels good. I really like the way it comes up off the corner. And remember, yesterday, Spencer nearly won the Busch Series race here in Bristol. He has 1 Busch win here in Thunder Valley. Would love to have a Winston Cup win. Hasn't won in nearly 8 years. He has a lot of motivation in that cockpit today.
Well, he really does, because his teammates won 2 races, and I know that he'd like to add his name to the win list.
Spencer missed the Daytona 500, so he comes here only 35th in points.
All right, what we're going to do, we're going to check the miles per hour on Kurt Busch lead the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is back in 8th. That's old tires versus fresh tires. This will basically be at the end of the front stretch. Kurt Busch, 125 miles an hour. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2 miles an hour faster. So that's fresh tires, Dale. And where Kurt Busch is going to need those fresh tires, he's fine right now. He's by himself. When he has to start manipulating that lap traffic, maneuvering that race car.
Coming up off the corner underneath somebody and having a grip to get on by him, that's going to be the problem.
All right, into the front stretch right there. See Dale Earnhardt Jr. still almost a mile an hour faster that lap, about a half a second behind.
But I sure do like the view from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Dale's got a long way to go and a lot of traffic to get through to get to Kurt Busch. Jeff Hammond?
Guys, I just totally disagree with what those guys just did, because they had too many laps, in my opinion, to run. So far, I've watched guys like Mark Martin as well as Jeff Burton stay out on old tires, and they've gotten